ball situation. Talk about the Giants and their new hires. New head coach Pat Shurmur, former offensive coordinator with the
Right.
Minnesota Vikings, and also with the Eagles in the past.
Eagles and also the Rams. He actually helped out Sam Bradford.
Yes, I've seen his history. I'm cool with him. He does believe in running the ball first to set up the passing game, which I think is necessary. I really do hope that the Giants are looking at drafting Shaquan Barkley as a real option. Like I think that's the best play for them. I don't think it's a quarterback at
I
all.
think you're going to go. Yo, I hope you don't, because with this with him, I see him. He likes young quarterbacks, and if he doesn't like
Well, we have
that backup.
We have Davis.
But I'm saying if he doesn't like the backup that he didn't choose,
Yeah.
it's a good chance he may go into the draft to get a quarterback, which I think is a
Well, the
mistake.
GM has already spoken that he prefers to build around Eli because he thinks Eli has 2 or 3 more championship caliber years.
I think it's a
And I
mistake
think
if
the
they do it.
GM will. I don't think the GM has even made it clear that he's looking for a quarterback. His talks about keeping Eli around doesn't make sense to go after Josh Rosen with that second pick. You're going to go offensive lineman or running back.
Yeah,
if you're saying you're keeping Eli for the next 2 years, you wouldn't waste that equity of that high draft.
I think your major needs is offensive lineman and linebacker, due to the fact that your whole offensive linemen are due for a contract this year.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of them are not coming back.
I think it's about
What
7 offensive linemen.
Oh no, for sure, it's a lot.
4 of them are starters.
Justin Pugh, Weston Wishbone,
and your money's
tackle.
not at right. So I think the best option for the Giants to do is to trade.
I've been saying that.
Trade and get
trade with the Jets.
Trade, get 2 draft picks, and get some offensive linemen and some running backs.
And get Raquan Smith.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll probably get him, but he might not fall that far.
Trade back, you know what I'm saying? Trade back 6 picks, because he'll get to that 6 pick. Trade to the Jets, let the Jets get up to 2, so Jets can get that Josh Rosen they want. And then you just pick up Raquan Smith and take their second pick and a pick next year from them. And then you move from there. I mean, the Jets, go get that quarterback and don't tell me this Kirk Cousins nonsense.
If Giants ain't
sick
playing,
of hearing this Kirk Cousins to the Jets nonsense. Stop it right there. They're in the same position the Redskins were last year. They do not have mature talent on offense. They got young players. Kirk Cousins is ready to compete. The Jets are not ready to compete. They got a very good defense, as do the Redskins. But they have young offensive pieces, as do the Redskins. Don't put you in the same position and just give them a whole bunch of money for it. That's real Jets-like, but that doesn't make sense.
And then y'all might even have younger positions.
They better going after A.J. McCarron at the Jets.
But my thing is, even with Washington is more of a better option than the Jets for Kirk Cousins. For the simple fact of that defense is more mature and they're only getting better. That offensive line is already secure, and you've been there with Crowder and with your offense already for a long period.
Might win a division.
He may look better in that team.
Might win a division next year.
But with the Jets,
they might sign a big time.
You get a identity finding defense.
Yeah.
And you get an offense where the offense line is now starting to kind of build up. Mm-hmm. Solid running backs. But with your receivers, you have one guy who's facing jail time, one guy coming from neck injury. You don't even know who you're throwing the ball to, really.
At all. It's not a good situation. But the Jets, I would say you could throw some money at A.J. McCarron if you think he's better than any of these quarterbacks that you could get in the draft. Otherwise, trade up with possibly the Giants or the Colts and get yourself the quarterback that you want. That's all. But we'll get into that when we do the mock draft next week. But to the Giants, so I do like the GM that they brought in, Gettleman, that came over from the Panthers. I like a lot of things that he did over there, a lot of drafts. I like the fact that he's already said that he wants Eli here going forward. Now, Pat Shurmur, on the other hand, I'm not so sold on. I've seen some of his past. Sam Bradford did have a resurgence. These quarterbacks have played well under him. But again, I saw that also with the previous head coach. Had exactly the same kind of reason to bring him in. He had great times with Aaron Rodgers.
Good offensive and quarterback mind, but is he a good team player?
I prefer defensive mind for the Giants. I always feel like a defensive head coach, unless you're a lifetime offensive head coach like a Sean Payton, I prefer a defensive head coach. But the defensive coordinator that they just added, who was actually the understudy to Todd Bowles in Arizona, I absolutely love that pickup. He's been the defensive coordinator with the Cardinals. So I actually love that pickup. I think that what he'll be able to do with it, he blitzes over 47% of the time. The defense that he will bring from Arizona to the Giants, with the players that the Giants have in that secondary and on that front four, I think was a great pickup. So I love the defensive coordinator. I'm not so sold on the head coach. I want to see what bring in for the offensive coordinator because they got blocked from actually getting the offensive coordinator from Minnesota that they wanted. Minnesota blocked that from the Giants.
Yeah, they dubbed that one.
So we'll see what they do for that. But I do love the defensive coordinator. We'll see what happens with Pat Shurmur as the head coach. I can't wait to see the draft. They had better not draft Josh Rosen or Sam Donald. That will make me move over to the Jets side because I'm not with it. Like, there's no reason. If you look at the Giants roster, you're set up with Davis Webb and Eli Manning to just go out and get an offensive
Why not try the player first before you just sit there and be like, oh, you know what, we're this high up, we're just going to pick somebody. How about you pick a major need?
Not to mention they're in an amazing position. Trade the pick.
Trade down.
Trade down, get yourself a couple extra picks. And you, like, again, Raquan Smith is who I absolutely want. I'll even take Malik Jefferson from Texas. We need a playmaking linebacker. We have not had one since Antonio Pierce. Goodson looks like he might be promising, but promising ain't.
I've looked at your linebackers. I think your linebackers are not too bad.
It's not bad, but
injuries. And injuries is their major problem between
that's why Jerry Reese is fighting.
Goodson and Casillas, and they're both free agents this year.
Yes.
So it's
they're both Jerry Reese guys. They're probably good.
Yeah, most likely. But they didn't have a pretty bad season. They're not actually
defensively, not that bad.
They're not that bad.
Defensively, not bad. Again, offensively, they struggled, but again, it has a lot to do with your best playmaker got hurt. Odell Beckham Jr.
I think it had a lot to do with play calling. But
yes, the fact that he didn't want to give up the play calling.
Because Odell Beckham played until week 4, 5? And they still
didn't win. Was struggling because he missed the first 2 games because of the ankle injury.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But he came in at the end of the Philly game. And then he went off after that a couple of times, and then they just kept throwing the ball to him like a sick dog.
Because he didn't get him hurt.
Yeah.
So
I think he wanted him getting like. How many times you gonna throw the ball to the guy after he just came off the field after holding his ankle? But that's
the Giants.
Yeah, that's.